Hello, this is Perry Pencil, and today I'm going to show you how to draw it. Let's begin. For this particular version of it, which is the original that was on the TV series, we're going to go ahead on and divide the page in half. So I just take a line and go all the way off the edge of the page like so. And he's going to be right justified, so you want to take a line and come down over here like this. And please help me get 50 likes and 30 comments for these how to draw videos. So let's go ahead and begin with the where his head's going to be in relation to everything else. So let's go ahead and do a nice size oval here. Once you have the oval in place, we're going to go ahead and put another oval. It's going to be vertical. And it's going to go so that it's in relation to where his neck is going to be. And then we can go ahead and drop his shoulder line in, which is going to be here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and immediately start with his head. So let's start with his eye, where his eye lines are. I'm going to put his eye line in right here. And as I always do, I like to put in temple lines. Temple lines, if you notice the oval on the outside, I put temple lines in so we know how far the eyes need to be away from the edge of the head. And for this particular drawing, we want to deal with the edge first because, of course, Pennywise or it has a larger portion of the top of his head. So we're going to do a larger circular shape for the top of his head like this. So what you're simply going to do is come above the oval a little bit, come out to the contour of the head, and just kind of round that off a little bit more than usual. Once you got that in place, we can go ahead and come in and then put the rest of his features of his face in, which is you come down here and we can put his face structure in down to the chin area. So you come around like this and he's kind of smirking somewhat, but not like the edge of his face has to be super defined. But what you want to do is come down like this with the chin, and his head, the top of his head is going to come around kind of almost like a light bulb. Now that we got that established, let's go on ahead and we're going to put his eyebrows in next because that's an important feature on it. So let's come from the temple line here, almost to the center but not quite, and stop right there. And do the same thing for his left side. And then stop. And that's the reason the temple lines are important, because you don't want to have anything going to the edge of the face or coming off the edge of the head. And then once you have that in place, we're going to go ahead and move down a little bit, and we're going to put his eyes in. So you can just simply draw oval shapes for the eyes. That's what I normally do, or do every time I draw, is put oval shapes in. And that way you can kind of get an idea where everything is in relation to everything else. And I'll usually start off, or for this particular drawing, I'm going to start off with his eyelashes, which is going to come in like this. And it's going to come down like this. Almost like a football shape or a watermelon shape. And then come around like that. And then do the same thing for his left eye. Come over, put his eyelashes in, and then come around like this. Come down for the bottom. And now for the eyes, you want to divide it in half so that you can know that the eye in the center, or the iris, is going to be in the center like this. So what you want to do is kind of come in here and put that in the center like that, and do the same thing for his left eye. And that line that I put in the middle just lets you know where everything is in relation to everything else, so that you're not going too far to the left or right, so it doesn't look like he's looking to his left or his right. It looks like he's looking straight at the camera. Now that you have that, we can go ahead and deal with his nose. So first thing I want to do is off the eyebrow, we can have this kind of come in. He has these kind of bags coming under his eyes that we can establish, and we can put his nose line in, so it'll come down to about here. Once you establish his nose line, you can draw just a nice size circle up here like this. Now once you have this circle established, we can have this line come straight down to where the nose line is. and bring it around like this. Then you're going to come in here, we can put his nostrils in. It's going to come down like this. It's very subtle, and then bring the other nostril over like that. Once you have that established, we can go ahead on down and start to create the folds of where his smile is. It's going to come over to about here and then stop, and then do the same thing on the other side, just like this, and then stop. Now, after we've got that established, we can go ahead and put the corners of his mouth in, which is going to be right below this line, not on top of it, just below it, and then do the same thing for the left side. And once you've done that, you can kind of put his smile in, just come over like this, bring it up, and for his bottom portion of his mouth, you're going to come down like this, and then come over. Do the same thing for his left side. And then for his bottom lip, it shows more, so we're going to make that bottom lip come out like this, and then come up on this side, and close that. Now we're going to deal with his teeth. So for his teeth, I usually keep it simple. Put 2 lines here in the corners of his mouth, and then come in like this. And you want to just have a straight line come over. And then what you can do is I like to put gum line detail in. So you can have a V shape come in like this, and then come over again, and then come over one more time. You can count them, like 1, 2, 3, and do the same thing for the other side. And what happens is you can kind of lightly put lines in for where the teeth is going to be, or sketch them in. You can always clean them up later, that too. Now, once you have that established, he has his bottom portion of his mouth comes in like this. There's very little room. You can see the bottom of his teeth here. It's a little box in here like this, and I'm going to shade that in now so there's no confusion. Didn't take me too long. And this is his bottom teeth here. You have a line come up like this, and a line come over like that. And then just lines that come in for the teeth at the bottom. The rest of the teeth aren't as defined. So once you've completed that portion of it, we can go ahead, and then above his eye he has makeup that goes up like this, and he has makeup that goes on his left eye as well, just like this. Alright, I'm going to come in here just a little bit and bring this opening in his mouth a little closer in like this, and bring his bottom teeth up just a little bit, not too much. And we'll close this up, and then we can leave it the way it is, have simple lines come in like this. And then, of course, define his head a little bit more now. Let's make it a little darker. All right, now we got the important aspect of Pennywise done here. So we can go ahead now and add his neck in, which is going to come in like this. And then the other side is going to come over like this. Now I know I had the oval directly under here, so you can actually move it over. And now we'll know where his outfit's going to come in. So just kind of bring a line around like this. And then he has, of course, what he's wearing. For now, we can go ahead on and just put borders here. This is so that when we come back and add the detail, I'll know where to begin. So put one here, and then the last one is going to come over here like this and cut off. Now, of course, his hair is completely wilding out. So right here, we can just put 2 points here, right in the center, between the center line. Come out, and I usually kind of just, with hair, you can kind of be free and abstract. Doesn't have any real form to it, but just for the edges, you can kind of jag it a little bit. And then right beneath here, you don't see his ears or anything like that. That's what makes him bizarre or strange looking. And you can have his hair come down to about here. And do the same thing for his right side. Have it come over. and then come down, and over here I'm putting in his hands later, so this space is going to be occupied with his hand. Alright, so we're going to come next to his head and just kind of put some lines here, wavy lines, because this is going to define where the hair comes in. So this is what you want to do to play around with it. It's nothing but lines, nothing spectacular about it, nothing difficult. And then you can meet it halfway from the edge of the hair, just like this. And just to add texture to the character. And do the same thing for his right side, have lines come out. And if you notice, I'm taking my pencil going inward towards his head because it feels more natural that way. And once completed that, do the same thing for this, have lines meet that, or you can play around with it whichever way you want to. As long as you get the point across. And I'm going to make one more adjustment. Just bring his chin down just a little bit more, not too much. Just like this. Alright, now we can move over to, I'm going to deal with his right hand. So for his right hand, I'm going to say come off on an angle with a line like this. And then put the first knuckle here, and then put the second knuckle here, and then the last knuckle here. So it should go on an order where the middle and then the last knuckle is the smallest, like this. And then his first finger is going to come over like this, past this border that was drawn in earlier. Put a circle here for this knuckle, and then come around like this. And then he has one more for the end of the finger here. And of course the nail, he has long nails, so let's go ahead and get that in right here. The second finger is over a little bit, and it's going to come this way off of this circle. So whenever I'm drawing fingers, I always use circles, and then you come in the way fingers are formed, it's the circle, and then it gets thinner and then thick again for the knuckle. So these two knuckles are on the same path, kind of. So you're gonna have this finger come out like this, and of course this is the index finger, and then this finger is going to be a little longer. So let's bring it down a little bit, and then bring the edge of his finger over like this. And then we put the nail for that one in as well. And for the nail, if you notice, it's just a simple curve at the bottom and then come to a point. Same thing here. For the last finger, which would be the Pennywise's pinky finger, I started this way. So have a line come out and away from this finger, come over, and then come back into this finger like this. So that way when you go to draw it, you already know where everything is. You put the circle here, and then of course this nail is going to come and run into this nail like this. All right, so we got the hands formed, and of course he has this border where it's like he's tearing the paper. We can just put a simple line here, tear, come over, and then of course he has his left hand down here like this. So let's go ahead and draw his left hand. This knuckle is going to be, of course, the highest, this knuckle, and then the smallest knuckle, which is his pinky. And this finger's going to come over like this. I'm going to put a circle right past that paper border we put in. Let me just get rid of that so it's not confusing. And have this line come back like this. This portion of the finger is going to come over like that. And then it's going to come over the index finger. And then of course we can put the point like this. Second finger is going to come over like this. And of course I usually put lines like this just so I know where things are. And it's gonna come just down almost to the bottom of the page, just nearly missing the bottom. And then of course the last finger is gonna do kind of the same thing. And then we put the nails in, just like that. Come back and put the top of the knuckle in, refine it, and then do the last one. Okay, now we can finalize some of the hair over here, and then the paper tear, add some of that. Have it go off the page. Now we can put these ruffles in, which is gonna come in like this, up, down, up. It's just kind of like a wave, and like that. We do the same thing for this side, and then continue out. Here these are kind of, or these are over, down, over. So they're like a different pattern. And then these just come straight off the page like this. And they're straight lines. They're that outfit, and they kind of just go, have lines come over like this. And underneath that is a couple lines like this that go straight down for his outfit. All right, I do want to add these wrinkles in for his neck. He does have some wrinkle lines here. Let's get them on both sides. And then this here. And there's a wall that's kind of right here that closes off the rest of the drawing. And I'm going to add some lines here. And of course some lines here. And I do want to show how to add some detail in the knuckles. So I want to just show you where you put lines in for the knuckles. That's 3 lines there. And It character, or Pennywise, has these lines that kind of make these fingers look really, really aged, is what I want to say. A lot of wrinkles and over the knuckle lines. So these are just, notice I'm doing 3, because you do more than 3 to kind of lose a little bit of what you're trying to go for. So if you notice, I put no more than about 3 lines each knuckle. So that's just to give you a little bit of what that looks like, and you get a few here on the finger. And I'll do some over here too. Okay. And once you've got all of the knuckle detail done, we're going to add the shadow for Pennywise on his fingers. So right from here, we're going to just shade this part in like this. It's not going to take you too much time. Drawing in shadow lines are not that difficult. Off this pinky, it comes over like this, and then you're going to put a line right underneath this finger like this. And of course this finger is casting a shadow here, so we're going to come right after this knuckle, come over like this. And then you're going to bring a line over and then come down and then stop. We're not going to close this because this fades out. And then you're going to get this finger, a cast shadow of this finger right here. Just like this. Now, same thing for this side. You're going to have his finger casting a shadow this way. And then you're going to have a shadow for these 2 fingers as well. And it's going to go off the page. Now, if you followed me up to this point, what I'm going to do now is clean up all the unwanted lines and clean everything up, make it look nice and neat. And when at the end of the video, you can pause and take a look at it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by pressing this round button at the bottom. Also, click on one of the 2 top videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you. Perry Pencil.